It's time to face facts. If you play survival Minecraft, you will at some point need to farm wheat. And it can be slow, tedious, boring, and downright dangerous. So, let's stop doing this and start doing this. Yes. So, there's lots of videos out there for, wheat farms. This one, I just added an extra touch, added in a sorter, so it will sort out all of your wheat and your seeds, so you can just get right to it. Alright, obviously the first thing you need to do to get any farm started is get a nice area marked out and cleared out. I've got about a 20 by 20. I think you only need about a 10 by 20 to get this build in its entirety all in one spot. Let's take a quick look at what we're going to need. We're going to need 6 chests, 10 hoppers, 3 comparators, 4 repeaters, 3 redstone torches. You're also going to need 2 droppers and 2 observers, levers, carpet, 10 sticky pistons, nice handful of redstone. Now these 2 blocks right here, these are for the sorter, so the best thing you can do is actually rename those just to make sure that none of those blocks accidentally make it into your filtration and sorter system. We also have a composter hooked up to this thing. Get a couple stacks of dirt, a couple of stacks of the block of your choice, some water, and some signs. Let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to want to do is kind of get the area for the water all set up. So we'll just grab our building blocks of choice. Today, that building block of choice for me is black concrete because it looks so nice. So you're going to want to go ahead and build out about 7 blocks, I believe. And this is going to be where the water flows to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 blocks, because water flows 8 blocks. And our water is going to go on the second block. That way it'll let it cascade down. I'm going to go ahead and build this up by 2 blocks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to build 10 blocks across. That will leave us 9 more in the center, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and build this up by 2 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nine blocks. So we're going to want 9 blocks in the center, and that is going to be where our water's at. We're going to dig down 1 block here and place our sticky pistons. This is going to be what turns on and off the water stream. So we'll go ahead and place our pistons in here. Sticky pistons, excuse me. My favorite kind of pistons are sticky pistons. What's your favorite kind of piston? Alright. Now we're going to go ahead and fill this in with dirt. So we're going to want 5 blocks of dirt in front of where the water comes out. Now we'll make our 7 blocks. After we've got that all filled in, we can kind of continue where the water cascades out to the front. Let's go ahead and make sure we close our water off. Build this up by 2 blocks so we don't lose very many seeds when this thing actually turns on. Now let's go ahead and actually power up these pistons real quick. Gonna dig down a couple of blocks and dig right next to the pistons. Then place our redstone. we get to the end, we want to extend the redstone out beyond the perimeter of the farm and place your redstone torch. And that is going to power all of our pistons. Just run up and double check real quick that every piston activated. Perfect. Right in front of where our water comes out, we're going to have 5 blocks. Let's go ahead and find the center of this little field. We're going to put in a water source block. We're going to cover that up with a slab so I do not fall into it when I replant this thing. So that's definitely something that I do often. Very nice. Now let's go ahead and fill this bad boy up with water. If you've got 2 water buckets, you want to place them every other block. That's going to end up giving you some infinite water sources. Skip a block and place. Skip a block and place. Just like that. Alright, let's go ahead and get out our building block of choice. We're going to push this out by 7, I believe. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to push it out by 8, and that's going to bring us to the end of the water stream. And at the end of that 8, it's going to be where the water stops. That's where we're going to dig our little trench. First, let's go ahead and bring our power supply up to the front where we're going to have our switch. I think I want the switch about 2 blocks away from the front. So we're going to go ahead and place some redstone and a repeater about 5 or 6 blocks in. That way you make sure the signal makes it all the way to your torch at the end. Cover this up and make it look pretty. And throw our lever on here. Is it lever or lever? Lever. 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 I don't know. Just put it on there. So at the end of that 8 block run after it cascades, that's where we're going to dig our trench for our collection and sortation. Now, just like the top part, we're going to kind of try to find the center of this area. Well, center as possible. So it won't be dead center since it's 8, but we'll get as close to the center as possible. Put in another water source to make sure that our farmland doesn't dry out. And we're going to go ahead and dig our little trench. It's going to be the start of our collection and sortation. And dig this all the way across. And right here is where it gets a little bit more complicated. We're going to dig out these 4 blocks. We're going to have some hoppers in here that are going to feed into chests. We're also going to have a couple of hoppers that feed into a dropper. So the first ones we're going to dig are going to be for our collection hoppers. Now just place a couple of temporary blocks in here so that we can get our hoppers all aligned correctly, because it's not going to go straight down into a hopper. It's got to go through a filter first. So actually, I don't think that's right. So the bottom 2 blocks, that is definitely where your chest should be, but your first hopper should be right in line with that trench. And we're going to do another hopper below it going into the chest. Very important that your first hopper is going towards the farm, just like you see this one here, because that is going to go into our comparator, which is going to be part of our filtration device here. So we're going to kind of do the same thing that we just did here for a double chest. Going to place our bottom hopper feeding into the chest. Temporary block up here so we can get our top hopper in. Like so. Bust out some blocks so we've got some room to work. And get our other comparator in there. So sorters are fairly straightforward. I like to kind of think of them as a T-shape. So we're going to start digging out our T-shape right up here. And on the top right of our T-shape is going to be our comparators. And on the center shaft, if you will, we're going to go ahead and power it on the right hand side. So right below the right arm, we're going to be putting 2 redstone torches that power the center of this T-shape. Then on the left is going to be 2 repeaters that face towards the shaft of your T. So first, let's go ahead and get our redstone torches there in the center. Ooh, don't mind that. It's my base below. Got a little too close. Anyways, go ahead and dig out this side over here, and now we're going to place in our repeaters that face into that T-shape. We want it to power towards the center, towards the shaft. Not sure how we got water right there, but that definitely broke at least one of my torches. Let's go ahead and replace that. Alright. Back around to the left side of the T-shape. Go ahead and place our repeaters in, facing the center. And we're just gonna build out the area right behind that and place in redstone dust. So for a sorter of this size, you're gonna need at least 6 pieces, 2 down here, and then 4 up top. And that is a simple sorter. Now to get the filtration working, we're just going to have to put, well, let's go ahead and first light this up so we don't get creepers down here and blowing the whole thing up. Anyways, to set up the sortation, you're going to need 41 blocks. Now, it's best to choose 41 blocks that you know are not going to feed through this sortation. That way it doesn't mess things up. So I've went ahead and renamed 88 blocks. So we're going to take our first 44, and in the first 3 slots, place 1 item each, and then 41 in the 4th slot. And the 5th slot will be whatever you're sorting. So in this case, it's wheat that we want this to sort into this chest. So we're going to place wheat in that last spot. We're going to do the exact same thing for this filtration sorter here. 41, 1, 1, and 1. So now, when items run across those hoppers, it should just filter out the wheat. Now, we also want to hook up a dropper to this, so anything that is not wheat should go past and into these hoppers. And we're going to feed these hoppers into a dropper. And that dropper is going to be facing upwards. That's going to drop out all the seeds and anything else that is not wheat. I'm going to dig out a quick area here just to get ready for my hoppers and observers. A little observer clock we're going to make just to power the hoppers whenever it's full. Not the hoppers, the droppers. Sorry. now that we've got that all cleared out, let's go ahead and grab our droppers. Make sure they're facing up, do a little squat, and it'll jump, and we are set. Now we want this thing to get powered only when it's got items in it. So we're going to go ahead and start our observer clock here. Power facing back towards the dropper. Grab oh, sorry, we're going to finish this, I guess. So this is the other half of the observer clock. When those two observers come together, it will power our dropper. And to make those come together, we're going to grab our comparator facing our cement block, so it will power when it's got items inside of it. So this circuit here is only going to get power when our dropper has items inside of it. That's going to push these two observer faces together, creating a clock and spitting out all of our seeds and anything else that gets filtered out. Go ahead and fill this area in, make it nice and pretty. Do a little squat. Oops. Build a little staircase so we can get in and out of here easily. And also finish off the side of where our little water stream is going to be right here. That way we don't have any water spill out. And with all of that, the basic farm part of this thing is just about finished up. Alright, so let's go ahead and throw our water in here, and that's going to go ahead and push over all of our wheat and seeds after we turn this thing on. And I'm going to go ahead and get this all farmed up and planted so we can wait for it to grow. And right here, we're going to go ahead and put in our composter. So this wheat farm is going to be putting out way more seeds than you need to actually replant the whole thing. So it's really easy to do. We're just going to knock out a couple of blocks. Going to drop in a couple of chests right here on top of our redstone line. And after we get our chests in, we're going to go ahead and knock out the blocks in the back that we just put back. And we're going to put in our hoppers facing into the chest. Do a little squat so you can pop those in without opening up the inventory. Anytime you're placing blocks on top of anything or into anything that has inventory spaces, you've just got to do a squat to make sure that you don't open up the inventory and you just place the block. So a couple of more hoppers with chests on top, and we have got an auto composter. Anything compostable you can put right up top and it'll just feed right into the filters, compost it, and drop it into the chest. This next little spot right here is kind of optional, but it's kind of aesthetically pleasing. If you go ahead and drop in your building blocks here with a couple of signs, this will make sure that water doesn't run out of the farm, and you can actually just walk right onto the farm so you don't risk jumping and stomping on your crops. Now after everything's all grown, all you've got to do is give this little lever a switch, flip, whatever you want to say, and that will push all of your wheat and seeds into the water stream. That'll filter out the majority of the wheat and leave you with nothing but seeds. Obviously it's not a perfect system, but it's not a huge deal if you get a little bit of wheat in your inventory. If you don't need it, you can just drop it in the chest right below. But this will spit out plenty of seeds for you to go ahead and replant. And after you replant, anything you have left, you can just go ahead and drop into the chest over our composters, turn that into bone meal, and then bone meal this thing just to speed up the process. The more you do this, the more bone meal you're going to have, and the faster it's going to be. And I know it's been a while since I put out a video. My bad, I've been doing lots of streaming lately, but we'll try to get some more videos out at a more regular pace here. If this is your first time here, I just have one request for you today. Just want you at some point today, take your thumb, stick it in the air, go ram it up something. Ram it up, jam it up, stick it up, preferably on this video. Give this video a like, and subscribe. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. I will see you guys shortly in another stream, most likely short or video. This was Sleepy. Thanks for stopping by. Right.